Hey folks, welcome to the channel. My name is Pat Dees. Welcome to my channel Money Me, where we talk about all things money. Today we're going to talk about Tesla and Twitter and the drama, what's going on there with Elon Musk. So what I want to do here, and full disclosure, I am not a licensed broker. I do this for entertainment purposes, but in the reality of it, I've been buying, selling stocks and trading for the last 20 years. I have lots of ups and downs, and this really raw, real channel talking about things that if I lose $8,000 on a stock, I'm telling you the story and why, and maybe why invest in it and do it. And part of that is to learn. And some of the stuff, I mean, I will teach you how to pull up different charts, how to pull up, and really how to dig into information yourself. I always say do your own homework. I never come on here and say, oh, go out tomorrow and buy a certain stock. If I'm recommending stocks that I like, I can tell you for sure that I have invested in them within the last 6 months or very soon. So I've been getting more and more people really posting comments and messages, and that's great. And you know, it's sometimes tough because I like talking about my FUBU loss, and some people, oh, you're an idiot for selling FUBU, and you know they'll say, oh, it's up a quarter or it's up 50 cents. How do you feel? But you never hear from them when it's down 75 cents then the following day. So, you know, you make choices in life about investing, and some people never want to clearly touch the stock market. History shows on average over 10 years you get 11% return. You're not getting that in the bank. We're in a period of time where inflation is high, and so when inflation is high, and for many factors, that means profits are going to be down at many companies, which is not good. So today I'm going to talk about basically, as you guys know, and I have my Webull desktop app pulled up here. If you guys are interested in, and I don't make no money by saying this, plug in Webull. I own an account with a couple $100 into it because I got some free stock myself. But if you want to check Webull out, there's a link in the description. Check them out. You get 2 to 4, depending upon what the promotion they're doing, you get 2 to 4 different shares of free stock once you make your deposit and you sign up. And I think you can make, I think when I did mine, I put $200 in and wound up getting like $40 worth of free stock. So that's a good deal. That's a promotional marketing thing that they do. And if you use my link, I get 1 or 2 free shares, you know, to just basically shout them out. So if you want to check them out, I would appreciate it. So, and you know, I could talk about Twitter and I could talk about Tesla because obviously I know I actually have owned both the stock and the options on both companies. And so I, over the last 2.5 years. So I'm interested in talking about it and give you my fair opinion on if that matters or not, and just to kind of get you to think about things and why you should invest in one or not the other, or you know what's going on. So let's dig into that. Okay, as you can see here on the Webull desktop app, the stock was supposed to be, the buyout offer it was around $54, and roughly $44 billion, which personally I think is just crazy. I don't think it's worth $44 billion, and I'll tell you why. And I think that's why Elon Musk himself is kind of having second thoughts, you know, because it is a big purchase, and he has sold some Tesla stock to kind of finance some of this, to do some of this, and it's hurt the Tesla stock. As you can see, Twitter today, basically over the last week, when there was, you know, some news out there that Elon was really questioning on, and I mean, granted, a lot of this stuff should have probably been talked behind the scenes, and now he's the type of person, he doesn't care. He'll be out there talking about this stuff publicly, where a lot of this stuff would have happened behind the scenes, and he could say yes or no, and Twitter basically felt probably that the company was worth more, because if you look back, even back in 2021, the stock was 68, and even if you go back here, yeah, July it was 70, and you want to go back even further, February 25th, it was $80.75. So it had a nice recovery from bottoming out March 18th at roughly $20 here. You can see Tesla has been just a monster as far as the last couple years is what they're doing. But now there is a little see, you could click here, so that means there's a little bit of news. Let's see what that is. Nah, they're talking about some copyright issues. If you guys remember years ago, and that just made me think about it, Disney was actually rumored to buy out Twitter years ago, but I think they thought with all the politics or the hate speech that's in social media, it probably wasn't going to be a good addition. And I sometimes I just don't get it, that these people are willing to spend billions of dollars. They get to a point, I think, in that the growth is just not there. I mean, obviously, if it's a good, profitable company and there's room to make money, I could see acquiring a company like, Disney bought Pixar. That made sense. They had the bundle agreement together where they were making, movies and splitting the profit. That made sense. But, and there has been, Elon Musk is basically concerned is how many fake accounts there are. And there are definitely fake accounts and robots. And as you can see, I have this screen. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to pull over my screen like this, Google. And you could see, because I'm doing a screenshot recording, I have Twitter pulled up here. And I'm going to show you some things on Twitter that I've noticed. And, what the market cap now with today. Now today it had it was down. Today's range was 36.85 and a high of 38.87. Year to date, the stock is down basically $4.34 or 10%. So you could see that obviously it's way off of 54, and I don't know. I don't know if you're a betting man or not, but if he does buy it, he probably will get it cheaper. And from what I understand, there's a $1 billion breakup if he doesn't. But I mean, it might be settled. It might be settled for $300-400 million if it's such a good company and so profitable. Somebody would take it over. So. Some of the stocks I follow, and I'm going to see if I can pull up. And, one thing I don't like about, and Twitter's very tough. I don't get a lot of, like, I got maybe 100 and some people on Twitter that follow me and stuff like that. And there's definitely bots on here. That's one thing I don't, a lot of fake stuff. Like, I would like to see, honestly, if Twitter was going to be taken out. First of all, freedom of speech is great. Any politician that wants to, as long as it's not basically being hateful or to entice riots, that's. But they ban politicians or ban certain personalities that they don't like. Really, how is that free expression? So. What I'm trying to show you, like, I've seen this happen. Like, one of the stocks that I just did a video on it was Fubu. And a lot of times, like, what'll happen is, and this is the reason I like Twitter, and I mostly do Twitter for, is following stock market or seeing the latest news. And here's Fubu, and you'll get. I probably have more people blocked on Twitter because of all the fake accounts. All the stuff that people repost, join today, go to my Discord, you know, the real true price, and it's just robots in there that are basically, you know, like, you know, you'll go to some of these things. Yeah, look at this. Like, here's a perfect example. This person, Carla Custro, top analyst target, and it tells you to go to Discord. Now look, 3 following, 0 followers. Now, yeah, it could be a new account, but let's see this. Here's another one, Wilson. Same thing, 2 following, 1 follower. So you go in there to type for information, and it's constant. I mean, look at this. 0 following, 27 followers. And it's just people that basically are trying to, the robots, you know, and a lot of times that's what it is. It's trying to get you to go up and sign for Discord. And what, you know, that's not good. That's not good that people, the misinformation that could be put out there, or the scammy part of it all. And this I see a lot. All you need to know is shorts haven't covered a single share. And I see that on a lot of, and look at that. Mildred Waters. It always looks like a generic, good-looking profile pic from somebody. Obviously, it's a pretty lady with a, you know, the smile trying to get your attention. But most profitable chat room, we're operating a 94% success history with an average of 25% in 4 days. Get today's winning alerts. 1 following, 1 follower. 94% success rate with an average profit of 25%, and they got 1 follower and 1 following. I mean, again, robots or just scammers, hoping that one person clicks on there and goes there, and they have them come in and buy stocks. Now that person's legit. Oh, right here, another one. 0 follow, 2 follow. I mean, here's a perfect example. I've already showed you. Most profitable chat room, we're operating, again, Faith Pope, and it's always weird, like generic names. All you need to know, Jesse, 0 follow. You know, right there. I've showed you 6 or 7 robots. So that's a problem. So when Elon says that is just one, that's one stock I pulled up, Fubu. So when there's millions of fake robots accounts. There's another guy I follow, and he basically says, and that's the complaint that Jim Cramer gets, and that's something I agree with. Doing YouTube, and I have another channel because I'm a reseller, you know, full time in my real life, and that's what I do for a living. I don't make no money doing these videos. I've been a business guy for 20-some years, and I've been a restaurant owner and landlord and various small businesses. And what I do now is but I love talking about stocks and business and the market. And having that experience now, I can basically talk about what I've gone. It's very hard to me for a 20-year-old to talk about when they haven't experienced a lot of this stuff. So I see trolls on YouTube, and what I like about Facebook is you can put a face behind it, or you can report, you can block. There's a lot of things that you can do. Facebook, I have to give them credit, are more on top of it than other social media, such as Twitter and such as YouTube. And I mean, what I do with this person, like, look, I'm gonna block. I mean, because it's just a waste. It's a waste of. You're trying to go through, you're trying to learn, you're trying to look for information, and it's there. It's just a total waste of, and this is why I'm agreeing with Elon is on there every day. I'm sure the stuff that the response. Well, let's type him in. Let's go to Elon Musk. Elon Musk. And what I like about him is obviously he's got a check mark, so he's been verified. And Elon Musk has 93.7 million followers, and he only follows 112. Oh, he's a busy man. He can how many people? Twitter claims 6 hours ago that 95% of daily active users are real, unique humans. Does anyone have that experience? I'm going to click yeah. It's a joke, and actually I'm going to respond to this. I'm going to link the video that I'm done with this and respond to it. I'm totally on his side. Even He is breaking the mold, and he is basically talking. A lot of things that get done behind the scenes, and a lot of, and honestly, there's that trust issue. Whether you like Elon or not, he's pretty blunt and upfront about a lot of things. We don't have to agree on everything in life, but yet he's right when it comes to. So imagine I mean, look here as we talk. He has 65,000 hearts, 12,000 retweets, and 22,000 comments. So I mean, that's amazing. And that's just him. So, and that he probably gets the trolls and the robots. And I'm reading, and this is off the fly, guys. Not to mention potential bugs in the code. Open source is the way to go. I agree. I wouldn't mind seeing, for serious people that like me that want to follow the market and sort of weed out a lot of those. Like I would show my driver's license and who I am and get a code and the thing, as long as your information is not shared and stuff like that, or there just got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to avoid these robots, avoid these trolls, avoid these scams, and there's just got to be. And there are people out there willing. Now let's look at Twitter. Let's see how many. Let's look up Twitter stock and really dig into the numbers of how many. So we type in Twitter. We're going to go to Yahoo. We're going to go to their profile information and see basically if they give that how many. They have 7,500 employees. Let's see, and we're trying to look for this quickly, guys. See how many Twitter. It doesn't say it there. So how many Twitter? Let's type that in. How many Twitter subscribers are there? Now, that doesn't mean active. So number of how many Twitter subscribers is roughly. Now here it says 206. 2021, let's see, 192 million. See, it's all over. 192, 206. Twitter up here says it has 330 million. Let's click this on and see if Twitter has something like 330 million active users based on its latest report. Stands at 166. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Even if they charged $1 a month for certain things, and just a weed out, and they should have it that basically if you report somebody for hate or wrong comments, and I'm even super surprised. I've been watching sometimes TikTok, and people are saying, "Oh, go over to my Twitter," and people are posting inappropriate, let's be frank, pornographic type material on there, and it's not getting deleted. To each his own. If people want to do that, maybe you have a Twitter R, but the person pays $20 a month and allows that user to share those pictures, but then also someone has to subscribe. You turn it into some sort of subscription model that Twitter makes money from it. But also that stuff is blocked from the regular person like me who doesn't, or kids that doesn't want to see it, but yet they realize that if people want to use the platform for that sort of activity, that Twitter turns that into money and block. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Let's see countries with the most Twitter accounts. 77 million in the United States. It says Japan 59 million. How many guys? Comment below. How many people are on Twitter? Are you on Twitter? Comment below. And I don't do a whole lot on Twitter. It's mostly stock related, or I may share a video out that I do on my reselling channel. Only because I don't think I have anybody that's local that's a friend of mine. I have a couple resellers, but the activity to get that I see is terrible. Like the interaction is very, very weak unless you're somebody that's big and has a big following and you're getting that. But let's even look. Let's pick a couple names right now. Twitter. Let's see. I like wrestling, so let's pick The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He has 16 million followers. He follows 350. But even him now, that is May 16th. He's got only 3,500 hearts on that, which for having honestly 16 million followers, that doesn't seem to compute right. I know myself in doing YouTube. That's always a question too. If you got someone that has 100,000 followers, but they get 10 comments, so again, you start questioning how many of them are real subscribers. Part of the problem I think is Jim Cramer. Is that there's too much social media. I know myself with trying to grow my other YouTube channel, doing YouTube, doing Instagram, doing stuff on Twitter, now trying to do some stuff on TikTok, and then Facebook. It's sort of like, wow, you got to be on 5 platforms, and that's why a lot of these bigger entertainers are hiring or bigger. There's actually a social media manager handling a lot of that stuff, so you're not even interacting with the real person. Now, Jim Cramer, I see, and I could tell it's usually him, just because, honestly, his interaction with people, and if he gets upset the way people are acting, he's where I don't think somebody would say that. But he posts some personal things, like his obviously cheese balls, Utz cheese balls, and he lives in New Jersey, and has a restaurant in. He did have a restaurant in New York, unless he closed it up now, but I'm not sure. So, and I know, and I apologize if this is a little long or winded, but I'm just trying to get you guys through the thought process that here's a guy making a $44 billion offer. And then he's probably looking at it and saying, hey, the deal hasn't closed. It's sort of like, I guess the analogy is buying a restaurant. I used to be in the restaurant business, and someone says they sell 20,000 pizzas and they do 2 million. And you go to find out that half the sales are actually done through frozen pizza, stores that, that they sell in the store. And does that come with the deal? So there's always questions, and sometimes before you gotta do what you gotta do. This is serious. 44 billion is not something to. Here's Kathy Wood to oh well, it's. Even her. Look at her. 1.4 million followers, 457 hearts. 64 retweets for having that many followers. So. The interaction with Twitter is not very welcoming. I personally don't know how they even make any money. I like to see them change. Going back to what I talked about is a little bit more of a paid subscription model where serious people like me that want to do investing. Now, do I want to put $10 a month into it? No. Maybe to have a verified account, maybe $2 to $5 or something like that. I'd be interested. But I would try it out, and it would be like a month to month, and if I felt like it was helping me grow my Money Me channel on YouTube, or I was getting some interaction, because there's definitely money to be made with business to business and interacting with other people and stuff like that. And the minute that you take away a lot of that freebies, I think you'll remove the robots, and there's clearly got to be a pattern that Twitter has the technology to be able to see, like, hey, this stuff is coming from other countries. In other words, a lot of those robots are being run by one company or one person, or they're setting these up to, bait people and scam. Going back to the Twitter R or the Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, idea I had, that's another way to for them to make money on the risque side, without hurting anybody, and protecting children, and also giving the experience a little bit more. I don't know how many young people actually use Twitter. It seems like it's more of an Instagram thing and more of a TikTok. So that could be a problem. And $44 billion, you got to make money. So let's go back to Yahoo and let's actually look and see what Twitter actually makes for profits. Twitter. And full disclosure, I actually, probably about 3 years ago it was, I don't remember exactly, but it was around February, and I had about $2,500 into options. It was the best option trade I ever made. I made 10 grand in one day, and I was glad I sold that day because the stock had opened up probably about 22%, and it finished only up the day about 12%. So that extra 10% really was, I would have probably just broke even on what the option was priced at. So let's look at the market cap is 29 billion. Profile. See the statistics. Let's go there. So revenue for Twitter is $5.2 billion, and gross profit $3.3 billion. That's probably before expenses. Yeah, EBITDA, net income to common. Yeah, I mean, so when you pay things out, so you're all the way down to 223 million. Quarterly growth, total cash is 6.3 billion. Their debt is 6.7 billion. That's a lot of debt for I don't know why. So pretty much the debt and the cash are sort of a wash. But maybe they took the cash because it was cheap and to build out the model and do different things. Who knows? Share short is 31 million out of a float of, so it's not very high. It's less than approximately 4.2.1%. And I'm on Yahoo, so this is where you can look this stuff up yourself as far as that. So let's go to and I'm trying not to be long here on this, but obviously it takes sometimes more than 10 minutes to focus on anything, and honestly, Elon probably wishes he would have maybe not tweeted and talked about a $44 billion and sort of had really good. I think sometimes he makes decisions off the cuff, impulse. He's like one of those guys that go to the grocery store and I need a pack of gum, I need a pack of candy, I need this magazine, and he's an interesting individual, but very smart. And he obviously, what he's done with Tesla and the company that has, it's just amazing. So CNBC, let's see what I'm really interested in is what the profit is for Twitter for the whole year. Now that said 230, so that's probably 200. That's probably about right. $230 million for the company, for the whole year. The PE, the earnings per share. See, now Musk said he did meet. Here's some latest news. Musk met with Twitter executives 3 days. When you think about that, though, if a company's making earnings projection, even next year, they're only supposed to earn about 40-70, about $1.20, $1.20, and how much is at $1.20 a share? And let's bring out a calculator. Let's bring out a calculator here. At $1.20 a share, there's 764 million shares, that says, at $1.23. So $940 million a year. Ah, man, at $44 billion. I sometimes want to be like, what were you thinking? I mean, even at a billion, let's round up a billion. It would take 44 years. So basically, the stock is roughly, and that's about right. I'm roughing it here. I said about 44. So that's a 44 PE. They're estimating about a 47 PE. What's that mean? PE, in case you don't know, that is price times earnings. That means you take the profits, you divide it into the stock price, and that's how long it's going to take. To basically pay for the company in itself. So unless people are willing to pay up because it has tremendous growth, think about that. I mean, even if growth, is Twitter going to be, there's so much competition, and is it going to be Facebook? And Facebook realizes that. If you realize Facebook is becoming a mixture of eBay and YouTube, a lot of people don't like the experience on Facebook because of people, because of the negativity, because of the hate, because of the drama. So what they did is they added video to compete with YouTube. TikTok's doing it, and they know that what happens is if people go on and check their Facebook a day, and oh, Susie just baked a pie, or oh, this person left that person, the minutes per on the platform are very low then. But all of a sudden, you get somebody hooked into watching a video they watch for 10 or 12 minutes. Then they go in through the loop and start watching. Before you know it, they're on an hour. They're actually spending more time on Facebook than they are watching TV. That data, they can go through their advertisers or the people that advertise and say, hey, our average user spends an hour and a half on Facebook. Marketplace, to compete with eBay. Right now, basically, they've done promos and stuff, but they're pretty much charging 5%. Doing eventually the potential of doing billions of dollars in revenue and just getting 5% of just basically being the middleman, not holding no inventory. They're already established Facebook, so it's just a different department, and again, that interaction, just getting 5, reminds me of the casinos. You walk into a casino and there's, a casino could do $1 billion in revenue, and getting 5 to 10% of that, is nice for other people's money. So there's lots of potential there. I wish they would have bought, honestly, eBay back in the day, Facebook, just because, but they probably realized they didn't have to. They could do it cheaper by doing their own thing, and a lot more people are selling on Facebook Marketplace and not selling, and a lot of that has to do with fees. A lot of that has to do, and also the trust factor, being able to put a face behind it. So I don't know what Elon was thinking. I mean, he's a lot smarter than I am, but at 44 billion, I would not have bought the whole company. As an investor, as a trader, I think it's all right to get into, and there's going to be certain times it's undervalued, and you'll have the stock, maybe they can get, more people on board in a year or two, but to make such a, in other words, maybe you make $1 million commitment, and, because you want to make, 50% on your money, but taking $44 billion, and I just think there's such much better companies out there to buy. I don't think Twitter's worth $44 billion. I don't see the interaction. I don't see... There's things that they could do to up their earnings, because I'd like to know, and without making this video any longer, is really how much is... how much of that is ad revenue. And... maybe switching the model a little bit. You got to make people wanting to go. And I don't like going in there as much because of the robots and because of the information, and because you go through some of the stocks that you're looking for information on, and it's just ridiculous that. So I do agree with him. Now Tesla, and he made this. If you look, Tesla was $952 basically at the beginning of May, and that's approximately when he made the offer. So it has collapsed, but he has sold, I know in that week after, he sold approximately $8 billion worth of stock, and he is the largest shareholder. But if you look at a 5-year chart, basically you can go back to 2020 where the stock was $81, and to go up, it peaked at Well, let's pull up the Weeble desktop app. Let's go over there. Tesla had peaked at 13 or 12, 1243, 11.8, and obviously and yet even when it dropped down to here at the end of March, people were still willing to step up and buy it again. But clearly, a lot of people who are investing into Tesla don't like the idea of him getting involved with Twitter. No, waste of time, waste of money, and that's, I know, sounds a little cold, and oh, he could do. There's still so much to do even with Tesla, and he merged the company together with doing the solar panels, and I don't know when the guy, I mean, he must not sleep a whole lot, but when he would really have time to really to be messing around with Twitter. Twitter would be a better fit more with another media company. But there's a lot to do. There's a lot to fix at Twitter. Twitter actually would be better off probably getting rid of, if they have even 30 or 40 million bots and fake accounts, getting rid of those and learning how to monetize the channel better and make the user experience better. So I don't blame Elon. Now, I'm obviously not an attorney. I don't know what the, he could argue that stuff wasn't disclosed, and I don't blame him. And at the end of the day, if they say it's $1 billion breakup fee and he has to get attorneys involved and he loses $300 million for a guy like him who basically has seen his value of his stock basically go, even if you just base it in the last 2 years, up fourfold, and let's see, his net worth is approximately $220 billion, $300 million. Yeah, that nobody wants 300 million. I mean, we can't even grasp what that's like, but that's a month's pay. That's a month. That's selling a couple. But if you could lose 300 million to save you 44 billion, yeah, of course it's going to be worth it. And it should be a wake up call for Twitter to realize the value of their company. You got to be more like Facebook. You got to make it friendlier. You got to, and even YouTube, Google owns YouTube. In case you guys don't know. And I get paid from Google when on my other channel with ads in there. I don't make a whole lot. I'm a small YouTuber. I only got about 3,800 subscribers on that channel. And but the user experience on there where people can make up fake accounts and troll you and do things. I have a lot of back office, behind the scenes blockers and stuff like that. But we shouldn't even have to waste our time going through that. When that user experience is like that, and there's constant scams of stuff. I mean, I get people that reach out to me and say, hey, Pat, we want you to do a video on this item. I'm like, okay, send it to me. Oh, no, you got to buy it, and then we'll reimburse you. Well, no. If you can't send me a $200 printer and you want me to do a video on it, and here you go. You know what I mean? But, I'm a lot smarter than they are to not fall for that. So I would like to see Elon not buy Twitter. I'd like to see Twitter step up and openly admit that they have a problem and delete bots and do things. And you know what? Then maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, if they could start, in other words, if they could start making $3 billion a year, that start gets interesting. Now all of a sudden, like, basically, imagine tripling your earnings. And now all of a sudden you got a company that trades for a PE under 20. Then it starts to get more interesting. It starts to get more that, hey, maybe we got something here. And but that's what I have to say about Twitter and Tesla. I'm sorry if it seemed a little long. I just wanted to walk you through my thought process and really probably what's going on and what's thinking and my experience using Twitter and doing a little bit of Twitter and owning both the stock and have traded the options and Tesla and Twitter. I missed out huge on Tesla. Me and my buddy, we talk about it the last 3 years, and there's many times that had you gotten in on a Thursday at $1,000, you would have had 30 or 40,000 the next day, because Tesla can pop. I mean, let's look at Tesla today. Tesla, basically, the only thing I didn't like about Tesla was Tesla dropped about $45 yesterday, and pretty much 45.22, and only recovered about $38. It's up 73 cents after hours. So, with the regular market 36, so basically lost 45, but only recovered 38 today. So it was an $8. If basically, I think if he does back out of the Twitter deal, who cares? That has nothing to do with Tesla, the company. But I think that people will be a little bit more okay. You easily could see this go back up to around 850 quickly. Now, 760, 850. I mean, you're only talking around 14-15%. And yet, when he announced the deal in around here, I mean, it's still down about 22-23% from basically when he announced the deal. And when you start getting into stocks like this, I mean, you're talking roughly, that's about $50 billion. Pretty much the price of more than the price of Twitter. We're talking billions here now. So something that none of us can relate to, because I'm sure no billionaires are watching my channel and Money Me. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for your support. And here's a quick one. Look at this. Look at Southwestern Energy today. I love that chart. I could see that. I recommended that stock, and I bought it personally. We own a couple hundred shares, and it's starting to break out and broke this down pattern. And I like it. I like it. I honestly think it could be a $12-14 stock within this next 6 to 9 months. So if you guys could give me thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe. That's the thing with this YouTube thing here. All you have to do is click the subscribe button. If you want to click the bell button to let you know that I do videos and stuff like that, that'd be greatly appreciated. You guys have a good week, and I am trying to put out more videos. And if you want to see that if I don't follow something or don't know much about it or don't feel passionate enough to talk about, like I don't get into penny stocks, or I do a little bit of crypto, but not really. I reluctantly got into a little bit of crypto earlier this year, several $100, and regretting it now because they're down big. So, but not that I'm losing my shirt on that. I've lost more in stocks. So, thanks again, and I'll see you around. Bye.